Hello everybody and welcome to TBH Anthony Barker. Well today guys, I want to talk to you about confidence, what it means to be overconfident, what it means to be underconfident, and kind of just trying to find that nice little balance of carrying yourself with a nice weight and not coming off like a douchebag. So I guess the first thing I'll talk about is let's go with underconfidence, man. Something that I've always struggled with when still struggle with it, but especially when I was growing up, would be my own confidence and being confident in who I am as a person, what I want to say. I always knew that there was something I wanted to say. I always knew that there was kind of some form of, let's call it greatness, that I could achieve if I carried myself like I was supposed to. But I have always lived my life in a lot of fear. I've always been kind of afraid. I used to be afraid of change. Still kind of am sometimes, but you grind through it and you learn through that. I used to be really just kind of cautious about everything. Like, certain things would be cool. I'd hit up like a roller coaster like one day, and then then one day I'd think about like, oh, what if something crazy happened like on this roller coaster, and then and then it was my own roller coaster of emotions essentially. But I had to learn that I am awesome and that my voice carries weight, and then I had to learn to not to be afraid of everything. And so with some like limiting factors that underconfidence brings is you have trouble maintaining relationships, whether it be a romantic relationship or like a friend relationship, because certain times you'll find that when especially when you find some real friends, which we're going to talk about that on a cast later on about real friends coming up, but they find it difficult to, I guess, fuck with you, because do you want to fuck with somebody who's always unsure of themselves and always fearful? So that, it could really just affect your relationships, and it can affect you getting a job. It can affect just you growing as a person. So, that's underconfidence. Let's talk about overconfidence now. We all know somebody who's extremely overconfident. We know that douchebag, we went to high school with, and maybe you were that douchebag, but maybe we all know that guy that we went to high school with and who, captain the football team, always showed off, like always doing his, let's call it thug dizzle. So, like, to be overconfident, I think, is equally as unattractive, if not more unattractive than underconfidence. Overconfidence and just general lack of concern for other people because you think you're the shit, that can be dangerous too. You'll find that when you're constantly showing off and trying to impress people and being confident for the wrong reasons, that can also lead to people not wanting to be around you. I remember when I hit probably around 20-ish, I ended up not like finding that balance. I really went in and just absolutely destroyed the game with an overconfidence to try to make up for, I'm sick of being underconfident, I'm sick of not being good enough, and I kind of dialed into kind of coming off as a dick. That works sometimes, but I don't know. I don't think it's a very great way to live your life. I think to be overconfident in the wrong things, or being overconfident in general, can lead to you missing something or like making a mistake. Let's talk about work, for instance. Say I'm overconfident and I'm like, so I bartend. So I know what I go in, I've been in this place for a while, I know what I'm doing, I'm very confident in what I do, I'm confident in my drinks, but if I go in and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna mess up, that it's whatever, it's easy, I'm not gonna make a mistake, and you go in trying to be the shit and like show off, you're gonna miss something. Like maybe I rang in the wrong side, or maybe something didn't come out as quick, or maybe I forgot something. I find when I'm very overconfident is when I make the most mistakes. So kind of what I've learned to do, or am learning to do, is just being sure of who I am. Just going in and taking time to figure myself out, to sit down and write, to just vent on a podcast by myself, to play some video games, to making conversations with a lot of people without getting really inebriated. Making eye contact and like making sure that I know what I'm saying, that I'm confident in this conversation, because I find a lot of the times that when you're unknowing or when you're fucked up, you can kind of get lost in the conversation, and you might be confident in like what you feel about this or how the conversation went, but if you weren't paying attention, you were too overconfident or underconfident, and you didn't really know what you're talking about, then you're gonna come off looking a little silly. I mean, guys, honestly, that's kind of all that's been on my mind right now. This has been a mobile cast. I'm sure you heard cars in the background. My mic kind of travels along with my phone. But yeah, guys, this has been TBH Anthony, confidence. Be confident in who you are. Stay that positive light, and keep your head up.